just is passionate about being alive and want others to be passionate about being alive. Being alive is cool, man. Hanging out at a old childhood spot of mine. Should be pretty fun. Reminisce a little. Oh yeah, this is looking mighty fine. This back corner always kind of felt like where the big fish lived. Hope those kids aren't coming in. So I haven't religiously fished here in many years, but this used to be a hot spot, so we'll see. Not good enough. Alright, so I used to come here when I was in my adolescent years, I guess, like 2001, like 8th grade, 7th, 8th grade, I would say I started coming here. Big duck. A lot of fish in here. I'm gonna put this guy away. We used to catch bass that would eat that bass here, which is pretty awesome. Bluegill, like, huge. So yeah, I'm back home trying to really be nostalgic with certain parts of where I grew up. So this is one of them. So if you're trying to elevate your life, or you're trying to become a better man, or for the small percentage of women that are watching, if you're trying to become a better woman, you gotta surround yourself around the things that you see yourself being, I guess is what I want to say. For example, when I started out, I found this guy, Lewis House. Lewis House is very, very, very popular. He's got a big following on Instagram, YouTube as well, big podcast. And he just was like, he was at that start, he was the guy I looked up to. I'm like, oh, this dude's like really, really cool. He's into sports. He slept on his sister's couch for years. He was depressed. He was a loser. I'm like, dude, I am depressed. I'm a loser. I slept on my couch in my mom's basement for years. I was like, I didn't move out of my mom's house until I was like 31, maybe 30. Like, I was a fucking loser, dude. But, like on the outside, it looked like I was a loser. I really wasn't a loser. I was just didn't know what to do. I didn't have that kind of guidance that I wanted, that I needed. So I found the guidance through other people, like Lewis House, I was saying, and so I saw this, like connection with him. I resonated with him. And so I started listening to his podcast, and it's all like about doing the work, and you have to do this, like fix your diet, start exercising, get your mind right. And I was like, what the fuck does any of that even mean? Like, so I got to pump iron every day now, I got to take cold showers every day. No, that doesn't mean that. None of that means that. Like, all those other things come later once you've built this level of discipline to where you just do them. Like, for example, the 100 push-ups a day thing, that is a discipline building routine. So almost every single time I'm not doing anything, now it's a habit almost where it pops in my head. It's like, oh, I'm going to do push-ups real fast. I just start doing push-ups. And when I do that, it kind of drains me of some energy that eventually turns into this anxiety or depression energy. And now it's kind of gone all of a sudden. I have a more clear mind to think about stuff. And that's when I woke up to like, oh, that's what they're talking about. Like, I don't have to hit the gym at 5 a.m. and all that other shit, like, just just go walk around the block. Take a walk around the block. Go do 25 push-ups. And just see, you'll be amazed at how you feel so different when you're done doing that. It'll only take you literally less than 1 minute. But for some reason, we are just so scared to spend that alone time with ourselves for 1 minute because we're just so stuck on our stupid phones. And if you can do that, then you're already ahead of most people. If you can already just chill with yourself, you're not worried about it, you're already doing so freaking good. Like, holy. So, find someone that you resonate with. And if you don't know who to find, if you don't know who these people are, ask me. I am so deep into this world, like, I could even give you tiers of, like, start here, eventually you'll have so much more awareness and knowledge, and you can start listening to people over here, like Robert Greene and Jordan Peterson. Those guys are a little more high level, but they have things that are, like, medium to high level. Then they have, like, stuff where if you're just beginning this journey. Mark Groves, I think it's Grooves. He has amazing podcasts on relationships if you're having problems with that. Gabby Bernstein is a great one for gals. She was one of the women that really helped me out. Her whole thing is the universe has your back. And once I started really thinking about that and really witnessing it in my reality, it's like, wow, the universe really does have my back. Like, holy shit. And then you realize it, then you start believing it, and then you change. You're still the old person, but you're becoming a new person. So you're not actually, your personality's changing, but, like, you're still the same feeling. You're still the same soul. Like, you don't lose anything. All you're doing is gaining. And it's absolutely amazing, because then you can kind of become a chameleon in a way, like I've noticed when I go home, it's really hard to relate to certain people now, because I've really felt like I've matured a lot this year already in just 7 months. And, I just sometimes can't really stand certain people anymore, and it sucks, because it's like, I used to be able to resonate with them all day long, but it's like, wow, that was me back then. I was that same person. Like, holy cow, I can't believe I'm completely different now. So it's really hard to hang with people like that again. If you really want to hang out with them again, and you do all that work, you'll realize, like, oh, I can go back to that. I can literally go back to being that person again. It's not going to feel good, but you're going to be able to at least connect with your old friends if you so choose. I don't mean this in a bad way. It's just for an example. But you got those dudes, they're at a bar and they're just, yeah, bro, fucking get it, dude, let's go. Like, that's cool and all. But if you operate like that all day throughout your life, people are going to look at you like you're just this big, old 15-year-old. And that's not good. You can have that still. I still have my moments where I'm just a complete immature, idiot asshole. But I know how to reel it in. I had become aware that I am that person. Once I became aware of that I am that person, A, I metaphorically threw up a little bit because I can't stand those people. And B, now I knew, okay, we're making changes. We have to be a little bit more mature. If you want to move up in the ranks of society, you have to mature yourself. You have to be more self-aware. You have to understand people and human nature. You have to. There's no other way. For my whole life, I've been kind of dumb. I just didn't know how the world operated. I still don't. I'm still learning. I have no idea, but every day I learn new things. And I have friends now that make like $100,000 plus a year, probably even more money than that. And they're just radically different people than me. They're way more mature. They take life, not too seriously. I take life, I think, a little too seriously sometimes, but they're way more mature, they're way more disciplined, they're way more consistent. I look at them like they're actual men, and I feel like a little boy around them. And if you feel like that, goddamn fly. You got some growing to do. And, it's not a bad thing. It's a really good thing. You have to look at it like it's a good thing. But society doesn't want you to grow, because then they can't control you. Put your tinfoil hats on, here we go. I'm not that person, though. That talks about the government's controlling you, man. But, if you really look at it, everything is like that. Like everything comes with its good and bads. So, but the more aware you are of the goods and the bads, the better decisions you can start making, the more wiser you'll become. You know, like ultimately there's no right or wrong necessarily. Like obviously there are wrongs and there are rights, but those are all in the eyes of the beholder. Like a murderer can murder someone and think that that's right. That was the right thing to do. That's what my brain was like, yeah, this makes sense. Let's do this. But then everyone else is like, well, no, this doesn't make sense to me. So you shouldn't do that. So that right or wrong is kind of a weird thing there. I like to look at it a lot when there's like actual non-absolutes. It's freaking fly, man. Get out of my house, bro. When there isn't any absolutes, I try to weigh both ends. I want to look at both sides, even if one side is super negative and gross. I have to look at it. And I have to look at the super positive sides. I look at both extremes, I do some math, and then bam, we have balance. That's the goal. There is a downfall. You can get a little too crazy into it and just really f yourself up, or you can get really biased on something. You can get stuck in a bias, and like you can't do that either. You have to really stay objective. You have to really stay in the middle. Like the greatest thing we all can do for one another is just kind of witness each other as who we are, instead of judging or making assumptions or any of those things. You know, just like that's a white truck or a white SUV. You know what I mean? Like, who cares who's in it? Who cares what color they are inside of it? It's a human being driving an SUV. They're gonna go do some stuff. Like, that's how I try to look at stuff instead of letting things piss me off. Oh, that guy fucking cut me off. I was like, who cares? Who cares? I'm doing my thing. He's doing his thing. You know what I mean? Like, he might be upset at me. They might be in a hurry. Who knows? And I'm finding the more and more I can think like that, the less stress I have. I have way less stress. And it just makes my life better. It can make your life better. It can make everyone's life better. Less stress. And being more aware. Awareness is the key to a lot of freedom and discipline. There's a lot of keys to the freedom, but I think awareness and like discipline are the two big things, and from there everything else kind of starts happening. So once you have those two things, you start being more consistent, you start wanting to help other people, you start creating value in the world, you start finding meaning and purpose, because then you start putting that onto your work, because your work is directly attached to you, and you care about yourself. At least I hope you do. And if you do, you're going to do all your work really, really, really well, because you're going to do it how you want to do it for yourself. The more you can love yourself, the better your work will be, and the more you'll see that shine, and then the more people are going to want you to work with them. That's just how it works. But it's hard. That's the problem. It's hard. It's hard. I can talk about it all day long, but doing it's a totally other thing, and it's such a slow burning process. I used to try to like, I want it now, let's go, let's make all the money, woo! Like, it just gave me anxiety right there. Not sustainable. I'm all about 1% a day. Just 1% is all I'm trying to do to move forward. And if that's just in my head, perfect. If that's in learning a new camera thing, great. That's all you have to do. Just do one thing for yourself every day, and by the end of the year, you're gonna have a huge change. You're gonna have a huge change. Oh, I was supposed to get off there. Fudge. Bummer. See? Wasn't being aware. And I'm not gonna get mad that I missed it, because why? Why would I be mad about it? I was doing something I loved. I was talking about, being better. I think that's awesome. The fact that this is happening is great right now. Like, yeah, anyone would probably be super sure if the camera's off, I might say some words, but after another mile, I'd be like, all right, it's all good. We're gonna end up in the same spot, pretty much at the same exact time, Or you can get into the woo-woo stuff and think, well, maybe that happened for a reason. Maybe I would have gotten into an accident there. Maybe there was something, not good. I don't know. So maybe this is a better route. Look at it that way. It's not hard to look at it that way. If your body kind of rejects that, that's you unlearning. That's you unlearning what society or how you view or how you watch someone once in your life react to missing an exit or anything. Like, you growing up and watching your parents react to things is probably how you react to things. It could be your grandparents. I know my grandma had a huge influence on me because I didn't have a father or grandfather. I just had a mom and a grandma that raised me. And I definitely picked up on a lot of their things, and I'm constantly unlearning them because that's not who I am. I'm a cool, calm, collected person. Just is passionate about being alive and want others to be passionate about being alive. Being alive is cool, man. It's crazy rock hurling through space. We don't even know why we're here, but we're all here. We're all doing stuff. We don't even know why we're doing it. We're just doing it. And then one day you just wake up. And you're like, why is everyone doing things?